Hi guys, how you doing? It's Ilstonation here. So, I have moved into a different location at the moment. I haven't moved house or anything like that. I've just moved downstairs because my dog has a little bit of an anxiety issue at the moment, so I want to make sure he gets through that. So, this is another one of the starting 30k videos. So I'm painting up some Ultramarines at the moment. I'm going to combine this with a video series I did quite frequently called Chill and Chats. In this episode, I'm going to explain a little bit about what's been going on, why there hasn't been a lot of videos out. I've already explained that a bit, but a new element's crept into gear. So yeah, I want to have a chat about that side of things and get your thoughts on it and what to do. If you do hear squeaking and rustling, it's my dog trying to get my attention somehow. So yes. So let's just pick a paintbrush and start painting as well. Okay, so let me explain a little bit about what's been going on. So I've mainly been waiting for this book to show up, so it's got all the new rules with the updated legions and stuff like that. I could be going on about the fluff in the background side of things, and I will. The problem is, I always feel when I do the background videos, I'm missing out on an element of 30k, because this is the main problem I think everyone has with 30k. There's a lot of like fluff, there's a lot of background stuff. So you can't always get the right story, and that's the problem with the fluff side of things with 30k. There is so much. All you can really do is say your opinion on it at the end of it, or what your view is on it. You can't really say you're right, you're wrong. It doesn't work like that, just because the way the books are written and everything like that, they contradict each other a bit. I'll have to let my dog out in a second. So that's why I've been trying to get as much detailed information as I can, so I can provide the best information I can. I'm just about to let my dog out. Go on, cause terror. You'll hear the door slam in a minute when he wants to come back in. Which probably about 3, 2, 1. Nope. Oh, he might be out there for a bit. Okay. So that's one of the main reasons why I haven't really been doing a massive amount, because I'm trying to get it right, basically, which is fair enough. At the end of the day, that's just my prerogative. But a new element crept into gear, and made me have a think about it. I got a comment that's possibly not the most friendliest of comments off a particular person. You know who you are. Yes, I do read my comments. He basically he was kind of slagging off the series and stuff like that. He said that because he expected more. He thought it was a waste of time that I read all the rules to you and stuff like that, and that may well be true. You may have found it a waste of time. That wasn't the point of those things. That was the point of, if you needed to go back and reference anything, you could go back and do it, rather than having to buy the books. So yeah, but obviously he didn't feel that way. So he basically said I'd wasted his time, and yeah, so be it. Now that brought me into a mindset, and your initial thought is, when you get comments like that on YouTube, is, well, this guy's a knob jockey at the end of the day. I shouldn't listen to him. But it niggles away at you a little bit, and you sit there thinking, going, am I wasting people's time? Am I doing that? There's the dog, back in a second. So I began to think, am I wasting people's time? And then I thought, am I wasting my own time thinking about, am I wasting people's time? And then I thought, what the hell am I thinking? So it led me on to an interesting thought. I thought I'd pose it to you guys. And I like to call it the optimum mentality for 30k gaming. So a lot of you, if you're new into 30k, have possibly witnessed the wrath that is 30k law, where someone goes, no, this is how it is, this is how it works. You probably experience that in other games as well. It's not just 30k, but there's quite a strong passion for it in 30k, so you probably come across it. Now the question is how do you deal with them? What's the best way to deal with this kind of attitude that 30k's got? Luckily, I think the new influx of new people is a really good thing, because we're going to get a lot more gamers in that are new to it, and it gives a lot more variety into it, because there's a lot of fluff lawyers out there that say, oh, this is the way it is, this is the way I read it, stuff like that. And then there's a lot of people saying their opinion on it, and they're publicising it out, and then they may not be saying it correctly to other people's opinions at the end of the day, but it's their opinion, it's what they're kind of thinking. I know this sounds quite confusing, but I am getting somewhere with it, so just bear with me. So there's all these beardy fluff lawyers that are saying you can't do this, should have been this way, this should have been this way. And I've mentioned it before, the books from Black Library and Forge World all contradict each other as well. They don't all stick to one uniform pattern, and they do contradict each other at other points. And for some reason, some people in the 30k community take the bits which they like and they say that is law. That's not accurate. That shouldn't be done. So I'm trying to tackle it with a new mentality. I call it the Zen of wargaming. It doesn't just apply to 30k, but I think in the 30k community, this kind of mindset is quite helpful. This kind of behaviour was happening way before Betrayal at Calth came out. This was going on way before that. And everyone was, like, to the point where people were literally falling out of friendships and stuff like that. And I've been brunt of that. That has literally been, anger has been directed at me that way because of that, the way it is. It seems completely bananas to me that it would go that far and go that way, but it has done and it will do. I think it's just a bit of the problem with wargaming itself. We attract a certain kind of mentality. But then again, that could be said for anybody. It's not wargaming specific. It's like, there are just, and I'm going to swear slightly, there are just dicks in the world at the end of the day, and that is that. And there will, no matter where you go, there are dicks. So this is the question I put to everyone. And this would be whether you play 30k, 40k, Gates of Antares, Bolt Action, Drop Zone Commander, and he said Drop Fleet Commander there, which isn't out yet, Mantic Games, Kings of War, any of it. Are you that wargamer dick? That's the question. Not how do I deal with dicks? Are you one of those dicks? Didn't think that was going, did you? So, why am I asking this question? Because I don't think a lot of these guys know they are doing it. I honestly don't think it's even creeping into their cognitive recognition. I just generally think nothing going on upstairs is setting off any alarm bells to say, hang on, I've just been a twat to that person. Instead, what's going on is going, those idiots, they're not doing it right. I'm doing it right. If you have that mentality, you are a wargamer dick. And I'm sorry if that hurts. I am truly sorry, but I would like you to take a look inside yourself. Do you go on Facebook and actively correct people on what they are doing in their hobby? If you do, you are a dick. And that is a flat out truth. I've done it. I'm a dick. I learned that I was doing it. So I stopped. I stopped commenting on posts like that. I generally stopped doing it, and I said, if people want my opinion, they can have their own opinion. They can have my opinion, but please don't get offended by it. And it is just my opinion. It shouldn't be taken as this is the way it should be done. This is the way it shouldn't be done. It is just generally my opinion. So take it as you will. I think people are a little bit too quick to throw out their opinion these days. But that is the way of the world. So, how do you deal with this mentality? Okay? So this goes to all the new 30k players. This is the advice for you. Okay? And I'm calling this the Zen of wargaming. Basically, ignore them. And it's a very, I say that very begrudgingly, the fact that it is very hard to do that sometimes. Bit like me, if you're like me in any sort of sense of the word, I have a bad habit of, if someone does something to annoy me or tick me off, I will stew on it for a long time, and I will roll it over in my head, and I will come to the worst possible outcome where I get into a big fight and there's all this kind of problem stuff, and it will never happen. And it is complete inconsequential thoughts. There is no point in even thinking that. So I would like everyone that's happened to just step back. Okay? And to all the people that are doing it to other ones, I really, really hope you're listening to this. Okay? I really, really do. Because this is an active plea to you to sometimes listen to yourself, or just be aware of your surroundings and understand that other people may be at different stages to you. Other people may not have read all the Black Library books. Many people cannot afford to read all the Black Library books. Many people can't afford to even look at the Forge World books themselves. It's not their fault at the end of the day. It is just what it is. And they've probably jumped into it thinking, this is cool, I can finally get into 30k, and probably going to get bombarded by a load of douchebags going, no, you've done it wrong. And it instantly puts people off. So this is my plea to you all. If you are one of those people that corrects people on Facebook, on the internet, or in real life, whatever you do, if you are correcting someone, please actually think about their feelings for a minute instead of going, no, I'm right, you're wrong. That is retarded logic. You are basing fact on a fictional, as in it's not real, world or universe, whatever you want to call it. So, the Zen of wargaming. What I would like all the people to do that get pissed off by it and stuff like that, watch this video again, okay? Just watch it and know that you're not the only ones that happens to. If I'm any sort of, if people think I'm any sort of like role model or so, I would hope to God no one ever thinks I'm a role model. I'm not. really not. But obviously there are new YouTubers in the world, new subscribers and stuff like that, who may be thinking about getting into 30k or stuff like that. If you get approached by one of those douchebags, watch this video. You're not the only one. Don't be ashamed. Like, don't think there's something wrong with you. It's not something wrong with you. It's something wrong with them. Okay? And I guarantee you, I absolutely guarantee you, you will have more fun if you don't care. I can guarantee you that straight off the bat. Now, where fluff comes in handy, I'm not dissing all the fluff lawyers completely. Where fluff comes in useful is when they get to converting models and painting up models and making their army their own. That's where some fluff lawyers can come in handy, because what they do, is they can find out all the little nooks and crannies and stuff like that, and they make something theirs. And it still fits in their world. And this is what is great about 30k, and I said this from the start. Legions are massive, like absolutely massive, monstrous things. So you can do whatever you want. You can play about with it any way you want to play about with it. There's no rules on that front. Do whatever you want. Want to make a fly army? That's cool. Want to make a tank army? That's cool. Want to, and I brought this guy out especially for this, want to paint an orange Horus? Then you can do. There's nothing stopping you from doing it at the end of the day. It's your hobby, your way of doing things. So thank you to the person who decided to throw that insult at me. You spawned my creativity, so thank you for that. It's really interesting. I would name you, but I've forgotten your... No, not gonna swear that bad. I've forgotten your name already. I know what you said. That's fine. You said that, but it spawned something brilliant out of it, so I thank you for that. Thank you for giving me some inspiration. If you want to watch more videos where I read out the rules and give everyone a sneak peek and tell everyone how they can use their army, then that will come in its own time. When I read out rules, I'm literally just reading it out. For all the people who can't afford the Forge World books, I'm giving you the rules there. So do what you will with it at that point. I know this sounds like a bit like a rant. It really kind of does. And it probably is. It really is, I guess. But I wanted to kind of get that off my chest, and I wanted to, for all the people who get into the zen of wargaming, just clear your mind for a minute or two. Just sit back for a minute. No, you're not the only ones that are having a hard time with it. There are the rest of us that are doing it. What I'd suggest doing is, if that happens, go find your mates, go outside, chill out for a bit, go have a beer, go do something else. Either that or get on with painting, stick on some music you enjoy. I personally like listening to D&D sessions now, like Critical Role. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's by Geek and Sundry. Really enjoy watching it. It's something to take your mind off of it. Okay, at the end of the day, because you know by the end of it that it's going to be gone. It's inconsequential thoughts to get any more wound up about it. Okay, so that's just my little bit of advice today on regards to people being dicks. So I'm not quite done yet though. So yeah, I'm painting up Ultramarines. I wanted to explain a little bit about the Ultramarines here. So this is, if you've stayed through all that rant, this is the next bit where we actually talk about some 30k stuff, and I'll be interested to get your opinions on it and stuff like that. So my Ultramarines, I'm trying to go with the drop pod heavy army. Okay, I'm in and ahhing about a Charybdis Assault Claw and the Anvilus pattern Assault Claw things. Not sure on them, to be honest with you. Really not sure on them. I think they possibly could be good, but I'm thinking maybe drop pods, Assessus Assault Ram, a Xiphon, and some jump pack dudes which we've got here. Leviathans in drop pods, possibly some Contemptors in drop pods as well. I think they might be good, but I think with the Contemptors in drop pods I might need Dread Claws for that. So I'd be interested to get your opinion on that side of things, whether or not you think they're viable, whether I should do that or not. But as you can see, I'm doing 2 squads of 10 veterans here. Now with the veterans I get to choose the weapons that they have, and I get to choose a kind of loadout. Now some people have said choose sniper and go with the heavy bolter, because you get basically, it turns all their weapons into rending, and you get precision shot. Yeah, that is a really good idea. I really like that idea. I was tempted, and I don't know if I can do this because I need to actually check the rules, whether or not I can actually use grav guns, or graviton guns, sorry, in a veteran squad. I don't know if I can or not. I literally haven't got the rules in front of me, so I'm a little bit unsure. But that would be kind of interesting, because then that would give me a bit more of a tank popper sort of thing. So can have some of them pop out and have graviton guns. Melter guns I'm a little bit off of because everything's got armoured ceramite, so melter doesn't do a massive amount. Not in comparison to what graviton guns can do. Just because I saw them the other day and I was like, ooh, that's basically haywire. So I'd be interested to get your opinion on it. If you know the rules, what are your thoughts on it? Would you suggest a particular type of gun? What I'm hoping to do, to be honest with you, is play a couple of games with them before I actually equip the guns. So I've kind of left all the bolters and everything off, so I can decide on the weapon front, weapon options. I mean, my initial thought was plasma, because if the plasmas get precision shot, I can end up taking out characters, sergeants and stuff like that, or special, like, just special parts of the unit and shit like that. So there comes the swear word, so yeah, sorry about that. PG-13 out the window. But I haven't done enough experimenting with it to really comment at that point. So anyone that has run veterans a lot, I'm pretty sure melter bombs are kind of the way to go, is have them with melter bombs. But I'm not sure. I really don't know. Also as well, I'm going to hopefully rock up with 10 Invictari Ultramarine badasses, because I think they're absolutely horrendous. No, I'd be really interested to play them in game, because they basically got strength of normal user, AP2 axes that aren't unwieldy, so they hit a normal, and if they roll a 6 to hit, it causes a wound automatically. So, which is pretty savage in its own right. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how badass they can be. Thinking maybe an Cestus Assault Ram, dropping them in, smashing a hole in whatever I fancy, and then rocking on from there. But I don't know how effective that would be. I really want to try it out against 10 Red Butchers, because 10 Red Butchers is literally an absolutely horrifying aspect to deal with. If you ever come across 10 Red Butchers in a game, literally you need to deal with it. You really need to deal with it. I've done it a couple of times, and you don't want to go anywhere near them. You don't want your tanks anywhere near them. You don't want anything near them. So what I'd suggest is shoot the hell out of them and drop as many high strength pie plates on them as possible, just to knock them out. Or you can be as sneaky as I did and get Sevatar into a challenge with the Devourer, cause 1 wound, and Sevatar causes instant death, which my opponent didn't know about and then was quite annoyed about with me for the rest of the game. So yeah, but that was a sneaky Night Lords thing. I'm allowed to do that because I'm a Night Lords player. But yes, that's how sneaky Night Lords can be. But yeah, if you're new into 30k, have you had any thoughts in regards to a list? Have you had any thoughts in regards to actually building a list? Do you want me to build a list with you on a video? I know someone suggested it before. I don't know how interesting that would actually be though. Me building an army list, writing it down, and then running through my methodology, because it can take me a fair while to build an army list sometimes. So it'd be I'd be interested on your opinions and your thoughts on that front. I don't know. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I'm not sure. I have a dog literally destroying furniture by my feet at the moment, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with that. But yes. So, yeah, your opinions, guys. That would be appreciated. I think the next video does have to be an Ultramarines, like fluff video, and we'll just go over some of the stuff with the Ultramarines, what to do, well, what they're about and stuff like that. And maybe we can go on to looking at the fluff of some of the other legions. As I said earlier on in the video, I'm a little bit skeptical just because there's so much fluff on every single legion. It takes a fair amount of research just to figure out what I'm talking about and make sure I'm not offending 1,000,001 people in the world. It's a kind of a paradox thing where I said, like, I don't like throwing my opinion out to people, yet I do it every single time I do a video. Not paradox, it's like a weird sort of situation. But yeah, it's a bit weird. Look at that. It's a bit weird. It's kind of making me even think in my own head at the moment, like, kind of confused in my own brain, which is never fun. Sorry, I'm half painting as well. My brain kind of farts when I do that. It goes, Arr. So these are beautiful models, but the amount of detail on them is kind of incredible. So can make painting a bit interesting. So yes. So yeah, this is I know this was a bit of a ranty video, but at the end of the day, but I think there was a valid point to it as well. And as I said, if you do come across this this foul beast lives in the wargaming community called the Wargaming Dick, then just ignore it, walk away from it. There's really no need to get involved with him. Leave him alone. You probably don't want to play with him anyway. So yeah, just move on. There's other people out there. I'm one of them. And I'm more than happy to have a chat with people whenever they want to. I have limited time though, so I can't always say it'll be a long chat, but I'm happy to have a chat with people if they want to. So yes, thanks very much for watching, guys. Take it steady, and next video we'll do some fluff on the Ultramarine. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, guys.